Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Rossi. This is my son, and today I wanted to do a first impressions of the Laura Lee Los Angeles Party Animal eyeshadow palette. So I received this palette in my August 2018 Boxycharm. If you would like to see what else I received in my box, I will link it down below. So without further ado, let's just jump right into this video. And as you all know, Laura Lee has her own makeup line, and besides the cat's pajamas and this palette, I'm not really sure if she has anything else. But this little palette is actually $19. So this will be the first product that I try from her line. It doesn't look that bad. It has a lot of bold, bright shades. It does have a mirror, so it's nice. It's also very compact and it has a magnetic closure, so it would be perfect for traveling. I do want to go ahead and swatch the shades for you real quick. So I'm just gonna grab a little bit of each shade to swatch on my arm. This one is a Party. I can barely see it. Next one is Damage Control. And this one is swatching a little bit chalky. Next one is Karaoke. Next one is Drinks. Next one is Bottoms Up. And the last one is Hung Over. So first impressions while swatching, Damage Control, Karaoke, and Drinks felt a little bit chalky and also kind of dry, so they're probably true mattes. The one that felt silkier was It's a Party, but I didn't feel like it packed much of a punch compared to the rest of the shades. From what I've noticed, a lot of yellow shades tend to be really light. It's really one of those shades where you have to keep packing it on over and over for the pigment to really show up. Bottoms Up felt a little bit chunky in the pan, and Hung Over was just slightly less chunkier but also silkier. So in terms of consistency, it seems a little bit off, but of course those are just swatches, so we will have to see how it performs on the eyes. I've already gone ahead and primed and set my eyes. So I'm not entirely sure what I want to do for this look. I know I want to play with these four here. Okay, so I think I have an idea about what I want to do. So we're just going to try it and hope that it comes out well. So I'm just gonna grab a fluffy brush and I'm gonna dip into Damage Control. And as you can see, there's a lot of pigment on the brush. So at first, this shade doesn't really pack much of a punch. I feel like it's really light, but I'm gonna keep packing it on to see if it does become more pigmented as you apply more and more. I'm still going in with that same shade and just building it up. Basically what I think is happening is that anywhere I put my brush with the pigment, that's where most of the pigment stays. So I think what's best with this specific shade is just to pat it and then to blend it. That seems to be working so much better. Now there is an even amount of pigment all through my crease. All I have to do is just buff it out. I think I'm done with that shade. I'm going to repeat the same on the other side. I'm going to tell you right now, it does look a lot more pigmented in person than it does on camera. On camera it looks pretty light, but it's actually packing a punch once I've packed it in a bit more. Now I want to go in with the shade Karaoke. This one has a lot more kickback than the other one, and again very pigmented on the brush. I'm gonna do the exact same tapping motions as I did with Damage Control. The thing that I'm noticing with this shade, if I try to blend it out a lot, it just starts to fade. So that means that I'm going to have to keep packing it if I want more pigment. So I know it's looking a little bit weird, but I'm going to go in with concealer. I'm going to be using the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. I'm just going to cut the crease. I'm going to place Bottoms Up right on top of the concealer before it dries. That way it kind of sticks onto the concealer. I'm tapping it in there carefully. I already see some fallout right here. I don't know if you can tell, but I left a little bit of a gap from the concealer. It's just something new that I wanted to try. I see all the beauty gurus doing it and I wanted to try it too. I think that now I want to use the shade Hung Over, and I'm going to use a different brush and I'm going to stick that shade on the outer V. Okay, there's a lot of fallout on this one. pretty much everything is just falling off my brush, and I do not see any color at all. Maybe it's just blending in with the blues, but you can barely tell that I'm putting a purpley shade there. I mean, on camera you can, which is the weirdest thing, but in person, it just looks like it's mudding together. I'm definitely not liking how this shade is applying at all, and that is too bad because this is such a pretty shade. It just looks really muddy now, and I'm just trying to fix it. It doesn't want to blend on top of the blue one, so that's extremely weird. All of this right here is fallout from that purple shade. All of that. Alright, this is really frustrating. I can't seem to fix this, and now there's a bunch of fallout here. I'm going to try to do my other eye and see if I can make the other side work as well. And I'm going to finish off the eyes, and I'll come back and give you my thoughts on this palette. Okay guys, so I'm done, and this is the finished look. I'm not totally convinced with this lip color, but I think that the eyeshadow came out okay. I did have some trouble blending it in the outer corners. As you can see right here, it looks kind of muddy, and so I definitely had a hard time using that purple eyeshadow on top of the blue ones. I did go ahead and put it on my waterline here. You can see that it looks a little bit brighter and more pigmented on its own. I did have a hard time blending damage control in karaoke. The best way to apply damage control in karaoke was to gently pat them into the skin and then blend them. I think bottoms up applied fairly well. I didn't have a problem with it, and so far it hasn't creased. I do like how the purple shade looks on its own right underneath on my waterline. So this eye look does look pretty good in person, I would say. Aside from having some trouble blending in that purple shade, after packing it in over and over again, I think you do get a little bit of pigment out of it, but it's definitely really hard to blend on top of these blue shades. I think it's an okay palette. Not my favorite. Some of the shades did feel a little bit too chalky. They did fade more the more you blend. It's a matter of packing it in over and over again until you're satisfied with the pigment. I'm not as impressed as I thought I would be. They are really bold shades, and so I feel like they should have been more pigmented. Regardless of my opinion, I do think that these colors do go well together. They do complement each other quite well. Again, I do think that the formula is just a little bit inconsistent in certain shades. But again, I will be playing with it a little bit more, and I want to try maybe 2 or 3 more looks before I make up my mind about this and give my full review on my blog. As always, if you're not following me over there, link is in the bio. I will have to try it with a white base and see if that amps up the pigment a little bit more. It's not the worst, but also not the best color palette that I've tried. I would say it's decently priced because you do get like 6 shades, and you also get a mirror, and it's small, compact, great for travel. Okay guys, that's all I have to say about this palette. Follow my blog if you still haven't. I do post more content over there. And thank you guys so much for watching my video, and I will see you next time. Bye.